morning everyone. Today you are here to watch a reenactment of the British garrison during World War II. If you are wondering what I'm wearing today, the outfit is a Scottish kilt to pay tribute to the Scottish troops that were stationed in Singapore during World War II, and they defended us very bravely. What you see there is a replica of a British gun emplacement that was built during the British rule of Singapore. The British chose where we are now, Labrador, due to its strategic position, to position the guns to protect Singapore from invasion. The British placed a powerful 6-inch gun right over there.
The British placed 6-inch guns in Labrador, and these were placed on a metal structure known as an emplacement. The emplacement was to allow the gun to fire accurately by creating a very stable base at the bottom. This gun, together with the other guns in Labrador, formed the Labrador battery.
The guns here in Labrador complemented another battery the British built at Fort Siloso. Does anybody want to guess where Fort Siloso is? Say louder again.
Sentosa!
Yes, that's correct. Fort Siloso is at Sentosa.
These two batteries in Labrador and Fort Siloso were known as the Twin Fortresses. Their function was to protect Singapore and especially Keppel Harbour from any attack that came from the sea. The British military believed it was impossible to attack Singapore from the north as it was well protected by the thick Malayan jungles, and so they assumed that any attack on Singapore would come from the south. They hence strengthened the defences in the south and neglected those in the north.
Now, I want to bring your attention to a British garrison which was stationed here in Labrador to protect Singapore. As you can see, the British marching was very sloppy. This was because the British sent very inexperienced and raw troops to Singapore, and they kept all the best back in their home.
Morning, sir! Morning! Mr. Garrison! Carry on! Soldiers, carry on for daily drill! Yes, sir! Enemy sighted! Enemy sighted! Load weapon! Load weapon! Weapon loaded and ready, sir! Now release ammunition! 15 degrees to the right! Now release ammunition! 15 degrees to the right! Fire weapon! Fire! Enemy destroyed! Good drill, gentlemen! Yes!
What you just saw was an example of what the British garrison stationed in Labrador went through daily. You can see that the British were prepared for a seaward attack from the south. What you see over there is actually the open sea. The guns were placed to face that direction. The soldiers were trained for a seaward attack from the south. And what the British did not expect was the Japanese would attack from the north via Malaya. The Japanese knew the British were prepared and strong in the south, and hence they planned to attack Singapore from the north, where British defences were weak or non-existent.
Let's continue and move forward to February 1942.
How about you, sir? Yes, sir! Yes, sir! The Malay regiment has fallen, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Okay. Ridwan, I have bad news for you! The Malay regiment has fallen! Japanese will be arriving through Bukit Timah! Point your guns at that direction! Kapan kami move, sir? Prepare for battle! Yes, sir!
mentioned, the British adopted a seaward strategy that prepared the army to meet any enemy coming from the southern seas. There are three reasons for how the gun you see up there contributed to the defeat of Singapore. So I ask you all, can the gun move? No, that's wrong. The gun can actually move, but you see the concrete structure there? That is called an emplacement. This is because the gun is so strong that when it shoots, the impact will push the gun back and it will turn also. Therefore, this will affect its accuracy and will not be able to hit its target accurately. This is why the British built the emplacement, so that the gun will be more stable and it will be more accurate.
So the second reason is about the gun trajectory, which is the angle of firing. For the gun to fire and hit its target, it needs to have a clear trajectory, which means that the soldiers should be able to see the target clearly.
If you turn and look behind you, that is where the Japanese were coming from. The land that you see over there was a very thick jungle back in the 1940s, and that made it difficult for the soldiers to see the enemy to have a clear angle of fire.
And lastly, the third reason is about the ammunition. And if you see the ammunition over there, it is called armor-piercing ammunition, and it was designed to be fired on ships to pierce the metal plating, enter it, and then explode inside. So this type of ammunition has no immediate explosive effect and is hence ineffective against an enemy attacking by land.
Now let's witness what happened during the Battle of Labrador.
The British commander, Arthur Ernest Percival, decided to surrender to prevent further suffering and bloodshed. That resulted in 3 years and 8 months of suffering for Singaporeans during the Japanese occupation. It is a very important reminder to every single one of us now that we have to defend Singapore by ourselves. We should not expect anyone else to defend Singapore.
We will now talk to two soldiers to learn more about their experiences. So over here we have the British soldier. So, why do you think the British lost the Battle of Singapore despite having many advantages?
I believe that the most important reason for our defeat is our total underestimation of the Japanese. We were brought up with the belief that we were superior and the Asians were an inferior race, and there was no way that the Japanese could defeat us. The enemy was presented to us short in height, buck-toothed, wearing thick glasses, who could not even shoot straight, and their all made in Japan weapons were far inferior to ours, which were made in Britain. But the truth was that Japanese soldier was extremely well trained, very experienced, extremely patriotic, and far superior weapons than us. In reality, we were the ones who were inferior to them. We also made a big mistake of not involving the locals to fight the Japanese till the very last minute. We saw that the locals fought with much more patriotism than many of the soldiers sent from different parts of the British Empire to defend Singapore. The sinking of the Prince of Wales and the loss of Malaya affected our morale badly. We felt that we could not defeat the Japanese, and we also did not have good leaders to raise our morale. We had the numbers, we had the weapons, we had many advantages, but we still did not have the good leaders to take advantage of all this and inspire the troops to fight the invaders. It has been correctly stated that the loss of Singapore was the most humiliating defeat for the mighty British Empire.
So she is a Japanese soldier, and why do you think that the Japanese won despite having all the odds being against them?
The British underestimated us, and they were totally unprepared for our attack from the north, for they had expected us to attack from the south and had neglected to defend the north. We could advance quickly down Malaya on bicycles thanks to the good paved roads the British built during the modernization of Malaya. We were surprised to learn that the British thought that we could not move down Malaya rapidly because of the thick jungles. They had forgotten all about the roads they themselves built. The British were also really stupid to send their battleships without air cover. This made it very easy for our well-trained pilots to sink their battleships. After initially underestimating us, they began to overestimate us. They did not have good intelligence to realize that they outnumbered us in both men and weapon. They could have easily defeated us if they had good leaders who could have inspired the troops to fight. Good intelligence and more experienced troops. While we were all well-trained and experienced, the British sent raw, inexperienced soldiers to Singapore. The British troops in Singapore lacked the will to fight, as they were not willing to fight and die for Singapore. On the other hand, we were ever ready to fight and die for our country and emperor. Most importantly, our victory was very much due to our great military leader, General Tomoyuki Yamashita. He came up with great battle strategies and tactics, and was able to inspire the troops. He was also able to play a big bluff when we were running out of ammunition. His words and actions convinced the British that we could carry on fighting for a long time, and this made them choose to surrender. So, to sum up, we won because we were better prepared, had the motivation to fight, and a great leader. And we also won also because of the British, who simply lost the will to fight.
Please put your hands together and thank your seniors for the reenactment.